When was the last time you looked up at a street pole and actually wondered who was watching you? Like, not in a paranoid, tinfoil hat kind of way. Just a casual, passing thought while you're waiting for the light to change, holding a lukewarm coffee, thinking about what you're going to make for dinner. We've kind of just accepted that the sky is full of little unblinking glass eyes now. It's just the tax we pay for living in the future, right? We traded a bit of our friction and a lot of our quiet for the illusion of total safety. But lately, it feels like the Matrix is glitching in the most hilariously human way possible. Think about it. We built this hyper-complex, multi-billion-dollar surveillance apparatus. We've got automated AI license plate readers sitting on metal beams, logging every single time you go to the grocery store or drive to a friend's house late at night. And yet, the ultimate countermeasure to this peak expression of high-tech cyberpunk control isn't some sophisticated cyber attack or a rogue piece of malware. It's a 10-cent plastic trash bag from Walmart. There's this news story floating around about a couple of cities, like Dayton, Ohio, and Evanston, Illinois, where the local governments have literally resorted to wrapping their own police surveillance cameras in black garbage bags. It sounds like a comedy sketch, but it's completely real. In Dayton, they discovered these automated flock cameras were doing some pretty egregious data sharing, running thousands of unauthorized searches and handing that tracking data over to federal immigration agencies. The city claimed they never even meant for it to happen. They blamed it on a single officer who apparently forgot to flip a toggle switch in some settings menu. Which, honestly, is terrifying. We're living in a world where your entire right to move around freely without being tracked by the state depends on whether or not a tired guy in a uniform remembered to click a checkbox before his lunch break. But the real kicker isn't even the glitch. It's what happened next. When these towns realized the cameras were violating people's trust, or when their contracts ended, they couldn't just turn them off or take them down. The tech companies own the hardware. The contracts are so deeply mired in corporate legalese that the cities didn't even know if they were legally allowed to unscrew the cameras from the poles. If they touch them, they get sued. If they leave them up, the company just keeps collecting the slop. So, the local public works department has to go out with ladders and tie trash bags over the lenses as a stopgap measure. It's just such a perfect metaphor for the absolute exhaustion of modern existence. We are trapped in these invisible networks of agreements and digital architecture that we didn't ask for, cannot control, and are legally forbidden from dismantling. It's the exact same energy as trying to cancel an online subscription and finding out you have to call a phone number in another country during a 3-hour window on a Tuesday just to make it stop. The machinery is too big to fail, too heavy to move, so we just throw a garbage bag over it and hope it goes away. It reminds me of this weird trend of late-stage capitalism where buying things doesn't actually mean you own them anymore. You buy a car, but the heated seats are behind a monthly paywall. You buy a video game, but if the publisher decides to pull the plug on the servers next year, your $60 dissolves into the ether. We are losing our grip on the physical world. Everything is rented. Everything is streamed. Everything is licensed under terms of service that nobody has ever read. And when you finally say, "Man, I am tired. I don't want this anymore," you realize you don't even have the right to destroy the things in your own backyard. I was actually talking to my buddy about this the other day at the gym. We were just sitting on the bench between sets, staring at our phones, completely drained from the week. He was telling me about how his apartment complex just installed these new smart locks on all the doors. Now he has to use an app on his phone just to get into his own home. Last week, the server went down for 2 hours, and he was just stuck standing in the hallway like an idiot, holding his groceries, waiting for permission from a cloud database in Silicon Valley to let him into his own living room. He told me he seriously contemplated just kicking the door off its hinges. And honestly, I get it. There is this deep, bubbling human urge to just take a sledgehammer to the digital fences that keep locking us out of our own lives. We're tired of the toggles. We're tired of the menus. We just want things to be simple again. I think that's why I've been feeling so disconnected from the internet lately. Everything online feels like it's being filtered through an algorithm designed to extract either our money or our sanity. It's why I've made a conscious choice to keep this channel completely independent. I don't take sponsorships, I don't do the corporate plugs, and I don't sell your attention to the highest bidder. I just want this to be a human space, a quiet corner where we can look at the absurdity of the world together and talk about it like real people, without a brand manager approving the script. If you want to support that, we've got a little Discord community going. It's just a place for people to hang out, share music, and talk without being tracked. The link is below if you're into that sort of thing. No pressure, though. At the end of the day, maybe the trash bags are a sign of hope. They're a reminder that no matter how clean, how efficient, or how unyielding these corporate systems try to be, they are still subject to the messy, clumsy reality of the physical world. A camera can map your face, predict your patterns, and log your license plate into a database across the country, but it still can't see through a piece of cheap plastic tied with a double knot. Take care of yourselves out there. Don't let the noise get too loud, and we will talk again soon.